Narcissistic abuse is an insidious, deeply distressing experience, leaving behind scars that often extend beyond emotional wounds. Many survivors, dealing with the fallout of narcissistic relationships, notice an unexpected byproduct, an overwhelming buildup of clutter in their living spaces. This might seem like an unrelated effect of trauma at first glance, but the truth is that narcissistic abuse and clutter are intrinsically linked in ways that many may not realize. Today, we'll dive into how narcissistic abuse leads to clutter, why clutter thrives in environments touched by this kind of emotional turmoil, and most importantly, how you can break free from both the physical mess and the lingering psychological grip of narcissistic abuse. The correlation between narcissistic abuse and clutter often begins with the mental fog and self-doubt that narcissistic manipulation creates. Narcissists wield control through tactics like gaslighting, emotional invalidation, and blame shifting, tactics that can deeply erode a person's sense of agency. In the aftermath of such relationships, many victims find themselves struggling with disorganization, overwhelmed by even simple decisions, which can contribute to a buildup of clutter. Rather than creating a clean, functional space, they might keep items for someday, paralyzed by the thought of making even minor decisions. Let's get started. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. It helps more people discover these insights and understand that they're not alone in dealing with narcissistic abuse and the toll it takes on life, including the home. Now, with that, let's unpack how abuse and clutter intertwine and look at the steps you can take to declutter both your space and your mind. Narcissistic relationships are characterized by control and instability, leaving the victim feeling small and helpless. Over time, those affected lose confidence in their ability to make decisions, as they have constantly been told they are wrong or incapable. This psychological conditioning doesn't end with the relationship. It lingers and influences behaviors long after. That confusion and lack of confidence are key contributors to the clutter that accumulates as victims struggle to trust their choices or believe they have the right to make decisions in their own lives. Think about it. Every item in the home holds some memory or association. If you've gone through a narcissistic relationship, it's likely that a lot of these memories are painful, confusing, or leave you questioning yourself. These items stack up, and letting go of them can feel impossible, as if discarding them means somehow discarding the very memories or identities attached to them. The stress and self-doubt caused by narcissistic abuse lead many to subconsciously cling to physical items as a way of grasping control. For those who have been psychologically manipulated, holding on to things provides an anchor, a tangible way to reclaim their environment, even if that environment becomes chaotic or crowded. Some may hoard items that remind them of better times, preserving moments of joy to counterbalance the negativity imposed by their abuser. Yet, ironically, this desire to hold on to control by keeping items often has the opposite effect, leading to spaces that feel stifling rather than secure. The clutter becomes symbolic, reflecting both the emotional chaos of the past relationship and the unresolved trauma left behind. Breaking free from this kind of clutter is about more than just tidying up. It requires a shift in how you view yourself, your space, and the items within it. Decluttering begins with the realization that each object in your home is not an extension of your trauma. You are allowed to let go, to reclaim your home, and to use that as a powerful step in reclaiming your sense of self. Often, victims of narcissistic abuse have been conditioned to think that they don't have rights over their own lives, their own choices, and ultimately their own homes. By choosing what stays and what goes, they are, for the first time in a long time, exercising their agency. An essential step in this process is reframing your view of possessions. Recognize that items in your space are not a reflection of your identity or worth. They're just things useful, meaningful, or simply unnecessary. Decluttering isn't about throwing everything away. It's about keeping only what genuinely serves you and adds value to your life. Start small, with just one drawer or a corner of a room. Make a decision on each item in that space. Ask yourself, Does this add to my life now? If it doesn't, allow yourself the freedom to let it go. Small, manageable steps help rebuild confidence, empowering you to tackle larger, more overwhelming spaces over time. Another critical part of breaking free from clutter tied to narcissistic abuse is establishing boundaries, not just with people but with your space. Many people recovering from narcissistic relationships have never felt the power of saying no or drawing limits. As you clear your space, set boundaries around what you allow into it. Embrace the freedom of choosing items that reflect who you are, not who someone else has convinced you to be. In other words, decluttering isn't just about ridding yourself of unwanted possessions. It's about building a sanctuary that respects and nurtures the person you are becoming. Dealing with clutter from narcissistic abuse also involves handling feelings of guilt and shame that may arise as you let things go. Narcissistic abusers often instill a sense of responsibility for their happiness or anger, leaving victims to internalize blame even after the relationship ends. This guilt can extend to discarding items, making it hard to get rid of things without feeling that they're somehow betraying their past or erasing memories. Letting go of this guilt is crucial for progress. Remind yourself that you are not responsible for holding on to objects out of misplaced loyalty or shame. Each item released is a step toward your healing and freedom. The journey of breaking free from both narcissistic abuse and the clutter it creates is about rebuilding trust in yourself. You are the authority in your own life, your space, and your choices. Moving forward, approach each day with the intention to create an environment that reflects who you are, free from the shadows of manipulation or doubt. Decluttering, in this case, is not just a physical act. It's a mental and emotional one, an affirmation of your worth and your right to peace and order. Remember, as you go through this process, it's okay to ask for help. Support from friends, family, or professionals can make a world of difference, giving you the strength to face both the mess and the emotions that come with it. Therapy can be invaluable, providing tools and coping strategies to process the trauma and rebuild your self-esteem. If you're ready to make a change, know that taking even the smallest steps toward a clutter-free life is a step toward reclaiming yourself from the past. Thank you for watching this video and taking the time to understand how narcissistic abuse and clutter intertwine, and more importantly, how you can break free from both. Your journey toward healing and reclaiming your space is just beginning, and with each choice to let go, you're affirming your right to a life that's peaceful, orderly, and truly yours. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share with others who might need this encouragement. Help them know they're not alone in the struggle to heal and regain control of their lives.
Why do narcissists feel bad about leaving you? Why do other people want to hurt you? Hello, wonderful fans. We're glad to have you back on our service. We're very grateful that you came to see us today. We've planned an interesting talk around the question of why narcissists feel bad about what they've done and want you back. You can jump right in. The goal of this video is to both educate and inspire viewers. Narcissists often wait until it's too late to see how valuable other people are. After putting you down and ignoring you, their reevaluation and wish for reconciliation can be confusing. Empaths often make people reevaluate things. Narcissists have a hard time understanding how important real connections are, so they find it interesting when other people can relate to them. Narcissists often think they are not vulnerable to criticism and have a skewed view of their own worth. To the other hand, we try our best not to hurt other people because love and kindness drive us. Unfortunately, toxic people who do bad things to others are prevalent, and we often end up with them. Empaths, on the other hand, stand out because they are caring and easy to relate to. It may be normal for us to focus on empathy after a painful rejection in the hopes of bringing our feelings back to life. We are different from everyone else because we are very good at understanding and judging others. As you heal and accept yourself after a breakup, the narcissist stays out of the way and watches as your worth rises again. They remember how valuable you are and are charmed by the unique things about you. They might think about how close you two were and compare you to the person they're with now. Narcissists may be honest about their flaws in relationships, but when they think about themselves, they usually don't think about things in depth. For them, everything is just a game. They might try to get in touch with you after they understand what they did wrong, even if it's hard. This is especially true if you've already begun to heal and shut the door on them. Even after you block them, they still can't stop thinking about you and even start following your social media accounts with different, sometimes fake, names. They keep an eye on what you do online, like friends checking in on you. Because it's become a habit, they long for a meeting that can't happen. Remember that the ego is about to get a nasty surprise as soon as the door shuts. Remember that they can always come back if you let them back into your life. They will think about how valuable you are again while going on their journey. It is very important to strictly follow a no-contact strategy and stop all communication. Avoid making them feel good when you're with them and keep your interactions with them bad. You shouldn't give positive encouragement. There are times when closure feels very important, but sometimes all it takes is a few words to end a connection. Speaking your mind easily in the last few days of a relationship is a great way to end it, based on my own experience. The narcissist will always be judging your worth because they see you as an unfulfilled dream that they want to bring back to life. Toxic people will not be able to hurt you if you stick to your limits and keep working on your healing. It is very important to keep your mind and heart tough. They can't get back in if the door is tightly shut, which speeds up their evaluation. You become their hero, and they fear losing you, but they already have to. Scroll down to read stories about people who tried to get in touch with each other after at least 10 years. I've been told about short meetings that cause people to talk years later. We have energy that can't be found anywhere else because we are empaths and the chosen ones. You can really get their attention when they're stuck and can't go anywhere else. You become what they're interested in and addicted to on social media. Not long ago, my narcissist tried to go too far and start abuse. I talked about this in details in one of my videos. Because you have such a strong effect on them, they want any extra attention you might give them. Hearing your voice makes them feel better, even if it's through a fake profile or a call from someone they don't know. They review your worth because you are rare, even though they do strange things. It will help you get over a breakup faster if you keep up with your healing and work on your self-esteem. This change has been seen by many people, including myself. You are not alone, and the pain and suffering will not hold you back. You will have new chances to learn new things, maybe even in other countries, while you are still in the early stages of healing and rebuilding your self-esteem. Without the ego in my life, I would not have reached this important goal. While the ego thinks about the past, you can boost your own worth by starting new businesses and getting through tough times. They look at your social media and other sites to see how you've changed since you left them. It breaks their hearts to think about it, but they don't do anything. They keep changing how they act to fit in with their partner and make it look like they have new interests. Your true growth shows that you are who you say you are. Don't forget that good things are still being said about you. Even when they are by themselves, the narcissist keeps thinking about these things. Increasing your value should be your first goal. To learn more about narcissistic behavior, you can do a lot of different things, such as academic study and real-life experience. I need to understand narcissists by entering their thoughts. On YouTube, I told a unique story about my experience with narcissists, which is different from how some channels show them. Even though they tried to get back in touch with me many times, I stood strong because I knew they felt bad about what they had done. That explains why the time was off. You might start getting calls in the middle of the night from their new partner. If you want to really hurt their selfish ego, block them, change your number, and stop talking to them. That's the plan. If you want to know how to catch and shame a narcissist, please watch my movie. But remember that you have worth at all times. No matter when you get your essence, from God or the universe, it is special. What makes you stand out in a group of 100 people is not how you look, but how much energy you have. Your unmatched energy is what drives this site forward. Empaths are naturally good at building strong relationships with others. But when they try to be like a narcissist, they often get turned down for the first time. Because of a miracle, we help them with their trash disposal. As soon as the narcissist starts talking to us, their low self-esteem shows through their act. It is very important to tell the difference between how a narcissist really feels about themselves and how they think they are better than other people. The narcissist sees how much they've taken for granted during the discard phase. This is when things start to change. When they realize how much they've lost, they begin to look up to you after going through the trash. Most of the time, this understanding comes after breaking up with someone or throwing something away. This understanding would have come more easily if the employee had been let go early. Making space between them helps them quickly accept the results of their deeds. If they were the ones who turned you down, they might even feel free and happy when you cut them off. Once they see how different you are from their new partner, they move on to the appraisal step. Know how unique you are and be thankful for all the good things in your life. At this point, you've done a lot to deal with the narcissist. There is a prize for all your hard work. You have no idea when they will show up again, just like I do. I may not have been happy with the narcissist, but I did find love again, though not in a sexual way. Because of the terrible mistake I made before, I am very picky about who I let into my life. We've all been lonely at some point, but I hope you don't make the same mistakes because of it. Don't forget to take care of yourself while you're focused on getting better and going on with your life. This is a strong force that could do great things if focused on health, business, sports, or other hobbies. They will be shocked at how much value you have gained as you start to put yourself back together. Your goal should be to become impossible to break. We need to raise the bar, even though we've done so before to make room for narcissists. This time around, we only want the most amazing people to come into our lives through relationships. There is no way to settle for less. It's not a good idea to get back into a relationship before you're fully fixed. We've been through it ourselves and know that getting better after being abused takes time. It's not flat, and it doesn't rain or have rainbows. It is made up of a series of hills and valleys instead. It's important to remember that this is not our fault, even if the scars from narcissistic abuse never fully heal. There was nothing wrong with us. We were just lucky enough to meet someone who needed our love and kindness, and that was enough to destroy the narcissist. Our evaluation process starts over when we get better at things that the narcissist can't do. Even if you don't say anything or get in touch for weeks after the discard, they may change their mind about how valuable you are. If you try to fix the link by getting in touch, the dynamics will change for good. Don't worry about anything. It's normal for people to respond